Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for taking time to jump on this evening to take a look at everything we're doing with Optio, with Pulse. And for those that are joining this incredible Optio blockchain, my name is Nick Sorensen. I live in the Dallas, Texas area. I'm lucky enough to just be a part of this Optio community. From the standpoint of a contributor, not a founder, not a part of Optio, and not a part of any of the companies that are joining it. And so thank you guys for jumping on and taking time to tune in. Hopefully we'll deliver some really great information for you tonight that will definitely help you make some decisions on all things Optio and at least learn a lot on this new technology. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, jump into it. You see this Optio is only infrastructure of tomorrow, right? It's definitely a very bold claim, 100% for sure. But we also we know that it backs up, in all things tech. For example, recently, unfortunately, there's been a couple conflicts going on in the world. One of those was in Iran, and Iran actually shut down all the internet, was not giving anybody access to it. But one of the parts of Optio that sits on the blockchain is a social media platform, and that's how a lot of people are communicating. In fact, Fox Business News did a highlight on it. They can do that because 100% the this infrastructure is decentralized. It's free from big technology, and they have the ability to basically control their whole infrastructure. Okay, and so that's exciting. But what is the bigger reason why Optio is launched and why it's built this whole tech infrastructure? It's number one is to decentralize, meaning it's not owned by an individual group person, which means that content that is on there is not influenced by an individual or individual group. You're not censored, based on the views as one person, one individual group. But most importantly, it's giving you the power. It's giving you your own control of your own data, number one. But number two, your own control to give you the ability to get rewarded for your own data. If you think about it right now, everything you post, say, think, talk about, right? It's pretty funny nowadays. You think about something that you may want to purchase or buy, and what we start getting ads for, right? And those ads are controlled by the platforms in which run, whether it's a search engine, whether it's a social media platform. It's all controlled by those groups. And on top of them basically controlling our data, they also can say what and what cannot be on their platform. If you don't go along with their views, many times you'll be deplatformed. In fact, in the last handful of years, close to a 500 million accounts have been deplatformed, and many of those just because they didn't necessarily agree with the views of the platform which they're on, right? And so we're in a very unique situation right now. We've been, the internet's been massive. It grows, it gets bigger and bigger, bigger, literally every day, every week, every month, every year. But everything that is on the internet is owned and operated by the individual accounts. It's called Web 2.0. Okay. So even if it's your information, if it's on someone else's website, they own it, they control it, they have power over it. Well, Web 3.0 gives the ability for you to interact with the website, but you control the data. And that's exactly what Optio is. When it says the infrastructure of tomorrow, the technology tomorrow, it's not only the technology tomorrow, but you'll see here shortly, it's also the infrastructure of tomorrow that gives you the ability to own your own data, control your own data, and even get rewarded, monetized for your own data, right? So the problem is not just the fact that companies take our information from everything you do on this phone, everything you do that, um, I can't say it out loud because I have one right here, Alexa's listening. Everything you do, wherever you're at, they're always listening, right? It's not even the fact that they're doing it and then they sell it off and make, billions off of us. We're the product, but it's also what they do illegally. In the last handful of years, just these companies alone, this is just their fines they've been given for basically illegally distributing the data that they collect. So Google, 162 million. You can read here, Instagram, 631, Amazon, over 800 million, Facebook, $1.87 billion in fines, privacy violations, incorrectly using the data that they collect that is now, right? So, what is the solution? Because we're addicted to these. We love the fact that we have all this information at our fingertips. We can access it really incredibly fast. And right now, we give up our data, our privacy, all that for it. But what if we didn't have to, right? That's exactly what the Optio blockchain is. And so, for those of you that are new to blockchain, Blockchain is what cryptocurrency sits on. So one reason cryptocurrency has been so successful and gone so fast into such a massive market now is because it's high speed, it's decentralized, you have your own ownership of it, it's not controlled centrally, meaning think about your money right now that you have in your bank. It's your money, but you don't control it. The bank controls it. They control whether or not we can withdraw it. I sent a wire a week ago. They told me we couldn't send that wire. I'm like, yeah, we can. It's my money. They're like, no, we can't send that wire. And I had to go in and do all sorts of different stuff. Right. So the blockchain gives you the ability to have full transparency, makes things more high speed, but you basically have the control. And the Optio blockchain, it's a layer one blockchain. There's not very many of those in the world. Like Bitcoin is the most, recognizable layer one. Ethereum's another layer one. Litecoin, Solana. There's a number of them. But basically, it gives them the ability to have their own blockchain and give companies, but most importantly, individuals, the ability to access their own data, control their own data, or be rewarded on their own data. Okay, so we have Optio. That's the community. I'm just a community member there. I have nothing to do with the actual organization. The power of that blockchain is that companies, brick and mortar companies, asset backed companies, have the ability to integrate with that Optio blockchain. Why this is so fascinating to me when I first looked at it and first saw it is you look about every business expert out there. The World Economic Forum, for example, came out and said that they believe this is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth the next 10, 15 years is existing asset backed companies being put on the blockchain, tokenizing their assets. Okay. It's where everything is going according to just about everybody. All around the world, countries are basically changing laws and pushing for new innovation when it comes to blockchain and cryptocurrency. And the United States is definitely leading the charge. A lot of new rules and regulation and registration. And this company, Optio, combined with Pulse, is definitely leading the charge. So Pulse is a conglomerate. They own a number of companies, number of entities. They have decentralized social media and streaming, as you can see here. They've got a decentralized content delivery network. That's all your streaming, right? So if I had a football game on here in the background, they're using a CDN. In fact, the Super Bowl this year was streamed by this company that owns Pulse, or that Pulse owns. Digital payments, blockchain rewards, e-commerce. So this is everything purchasing, online. And then cloud service, this is all your hosting, right? So if there's something online, any website, anything at all has to be hosted somewhere. And Pulse has a large company with large clients that currently use their services. And so when that conflict in Iran happened and they said, we're turning the internet off, well, they weren't able to because all of this is decentralized by nature, the latest and greatest technology. And Pulse had the ability to keep it propped up in conjunction with being on the Optio blockchain. And so Pulse owns these companies, right? That makes their whole, almost like an economy when you put it on the Optio blockchain. So Parler, that's a name that many of you are familiar with. In fact, this was the main reason I got really excited about this project when I first looked at it. Parler was the fastest growing app, for a few years, the number one downloaded app for I think over a year running. Crazy fast because they didn't censor people's information. It was your data. You could post what you wanted, right? Obviously within rules. And they grew incredibly fast. They grew so fast that they were deplatformed by big tech. Amazon Web Service refused their service because they wanted business from another big tech, and they were actually turned off and shut down, deplatformed. Pulse bought Parler, lifted it back up a little less than a year, a little over a year ago. They then launched Play TV. Play TV is like YouTube mixed with your TikTok or Reels, right? So it's long story video, short story video. This is growing incredibly fast. Between these two apps, there's over 18 million people currently on their apps that are owned by Pulse, which is incredible. They're launching another one here soon called Pulse. It's all about creators. So they have a platform already right now existing that has tons of eyes, over 18 million people and users. Why is that so important when we're looking at this Optio project? Because there's less than 10 crypto projects on the planet that have over 10 million wallets. This thing's just barely getting kicked off. There's over 18 million people on the platforms that are already engaged with Pulse, but also integrated on this Optio blockchain. Edgecast, that's the CDN I talked about. At one point, they were responsible for about 20% of the global worldwide streaming. Triton Cloud, large cloud company, they got data centers all around the world. And then Kaiba Wallet, Cartex Marketplace, these are huge, very integral part to make this thing be successful. I'm going to go those a little bit more in depth down the road. So this whole ecosystem has massive infrastructure, has the ability for them to scale. They control their own tech, so they're not relying upon any third-party technology at all whatsoever, or big tech. And this is not something that, hey, they're hoping to get down the road. This is something that's live right now. There's people right now engaging on Parler. Okay, when they engage on Parler, they actually earn Optio. I'm going to teach about that here in a second. It goes to the Kaibo wallet. There are companies that are customers of Edgecast, Triton Cloud. Cartix is going live soon. This is here. In fact, Pulse Whole is a conglomerate, just did a third-party valuation, came in over at $1.2 billion. The main reason for that is Pulse is going public. Q1, Q2 of this next year, and they're going to be putting all that value, all the assets, integrating onto the Optio blockchain back into value, which is exciting. Okay, so that's just a little bit of the backstory of who Optio is, who Pulse is, why this is so special, what's going on here, and why we're excited about it. But how do you personally benefit from it? Okay, there's a few ways we're going to talk about them. Number one, those apps we just talked about, Parler, Play TV. If you just engage on those like you would on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, like you do there, same thing over there, you're going to earn what's called Optio. That is the token that comes in the Optio blockchain. So you get rewarded for doing the same thing here that you're doing other places, right? So think about it. Facebook, Meta, Twitter, they make billions of dollars off of your data. We are the customer, right? We are the product basically. We get nothing for it. They reap all the benefits. And so what they decided here with the Optio is like, hey, what if we flip that script and we actually reward our people if they choose to actually go see the information and see the ads? Makes sense, doesn't it? Right? That we get rewarded because it's something that we do and we're providing. So that's one way, number one. But number two is we can also purchase what is called a node. Okay, every time something happens across the whole Pulse ecosystem or on the Optio blockchain, Node will verify those actions, they secure the network, they unlock rewards. And so by owning a node, you get rewarded daily for basically propping it up. Think of a toll bridge, right? The more traffic that goes through those tolls, the more that the tolls get rewarded for, right? A node, another example of what a node is, it's like a cell phone tower, right? You need enough towers around to make sure that you have a very efficient, very fast running blockchain. And they give us the ability to purchase those. Now, why do they do that? Most important reason why is because they want it decentralized. They don't want one person, one individual, one group of people making the decisions based on here. They want this tech, not they want it. It is. This tech is built for the people and it's owned by the people. So we have the ability to participate in what that is. And we can be rewarded great. We get rewarded in the form of this Optio token, right? Optio is a form of a token, but it's a utility token, meaning that there's a number of uses for that token outside of an exchange, okay? Every time there's a transaction, Optio is awarded. It rewards fees, payments, engagement. It all goes through a protocol, a blockchain protocol. So it's not like one person over here clicking the button and said, hey, you get this, I know you, whatever. It's 100% written by an algorithm rewarded to it. So you get rewarded through engagement on the platforms, but you also get rewarded for owning a node. It's not just crypto, it's for transactions, it's for buying products, it's for buying services. Those rewards are based on that protocol. Okay, and it's what you do, not just exactly what you hold or the timing of what it is. Okay, it's usable across all Pulse products. So imagine jumping on Parler or Play TV, watching a few videos, get rewarding in Optio, it goes to your Kaiba wallet, and then you jump on Cardex and say, hey, wait a second, I want to buy that product or I want to get a discount on that product. You then use your Optio to purchase that or use it as a discount. And so it's very addicting. And this is happening right now. There's people on those platforms right now that are earning Optio as we speak. And this is built for utility. This is not, hey, speculation. If this happens, the tokens go to this price. It's all built on people using the token, people purchasing the token to be used for the token, built on real use case scenarios. Really exciting from the standpoint of how it's all built. Tons of uses for this token across the platforms. The utility token and why it's called a utility token is just for all the different reasons, and there's tons of them. Number one, like I said, buy products on Cartix. You can tip creators on the platforms, boost your posts. You can run ads. Think about it. All those millions of people on those platforms, any business that wants to come and advertise, if you choose to, they're going to have to purchase Optio and pay an Optio that drives utility. Think of all those customers of the cloud company, Triton Cloud, of Edgio, the Edgecast, the CDN network. They'll have the ability to go buy Optio in the marketplace, right? And then pay for Optio. What does that do? It drives utility, which drives more use case, which can definitely lead to more value when it comes to the token, right? You can exchange these on central exchanges. Right now, as we speak, we have people that do daily engagement on these social media apps, and then they get their token and they go and actually sell it on an exchange. It's really early. I personally don't do that yet because it hasn't really launched big from the standpoint of big liquidity on a big exchange, but it is possible right now, right? So tons of options. They're also even working on being able to, Optio that you earn, right? This is just a rumor I've heard, but Optio that you earn, go to your Kaiba wallet, and you'll be able to take a card, Visa, MasterCard, and be able to go buy products and search them. So real world utility, basically giving you what you should have been getting the last 10, 15, 20 years that you've been on social media. They're using you, they're taking your data and selling off. You should get commission off that, right? Engagement. And then if you want to speed it up, like I said earlier, you can own a node. And so the Optio engine, so all the transactions are processed, right? Everything that runs across the whole ecosystem through Pulse, through Optio, all that happens. Optio is then rewarded for validating when you have your nodes. It's also rewarded for the proof of engagement. They're distributed, and then once those tokens are issued, you can choose what you want to do with them. Whether you want to, use them inside the ecosystem, inside Cardux, whatever, or if you want to take them to an exchange and exchange them for another cryptocurrency or fiat. Okay. Now, what powers that whole thing is a Kaivo wallet. This is an app that's live right now in the App Store, just like Parler, just like Play TV. They're all live. You can go download them there. This is a non-custodial wallet. What does that mean? It means that you not only own it, you control it. No one else controls it. Okay. It's built for crypto and fiat. Fiat will be loading here soon. So think, be able to send someone a transaction like you would with Venmo per se. But then also being able to have a crypto wallet like you would with a Coinbase or a crypto.com, right? It's all integrated. It's integrated with all the other apps on the platform, and it's designed for utility. It's designed to every transaction across will come through the Kava wallet. It's incredibly safe, it's incredibly secure, and it really, like I said, it powers the whole ecosystem. It turns engagement, it turns all the stuff you're doing right now as you speak, okay? Engaging on social media, using your phone, whether it's with your bank, whether it's a peer-to-peer like a Venmo, send it, it all integrates it into one. And what does that mean for the standpoint of the token? It just drives more value. Most crypto projects out there on the planet, their value comes from a few things, right? Number one, adoption is the amount of people that are engaged in a product. Like I said earlier, there's less than 10 crypto projects on the planet, even though it's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, that have over 10 million wallets. We have 18 million people on the apps right now as we speak. Utility drives it, right? The more things you can use the Optio to purchase and use and to buy it for, the more valuable that Optio becomes, right? And then that liquidity is just buying pressure that comes in on the tokens. The more reasons that people can use the Optio, the more reason they're going to go get it. Not only engage in the platform, not only earn through nodes, but also be able to go in and purchase those. And so this turns this into this whole economy. And it's not just Optio blockchain with Pulse integrated in. There's a number of business arrangements, LOIs of existing third-party companies that want to integrate onto this Optio blockchain because it's decentralized by nature, because of the rewards program, the reward system, that proof of engagement. A couple examples you see right here, but like Cartix Marketplace, right? Being able to put a whole e-commerce system on here, all these brands integrate into the Cartix Marketplace. Thinking right now, if you have a product that you want to market or sell, or you have a website online, you're like, wait a second, I want more eyes on it. Why would they not integrate with Cartix Marketplace? Accept Optio, accept fiat, accept other currencies, and just get more eyes on to sell more products. It's definitely very powerful. So what is Cartix? I mentioned a little bit earlier. There's a strategic arrangement engagement with Kevin Harrington. Kevin Harrington, if you don't know, was one of the original sharks of Shark Tank. He's also one of the original creators of As Seen on TV. So when it comes to e-commerce, he's one of the guys, and he's committed to bring over 100,000 merchants in the next 24 months. And all of them will have some various level of accepting Optio. Some may accept all, some 20% to be able to use. So you can go like, comment, engage like you're doing right now on whatever your social media platform is of choice. Here, earn Optio will go to your Kaiba wallet. You can take that Optio in your Kaiba wallet and choose to go purchase things at discount or in full. So it turns Optio real commerce, but it drives utility, drives liquidity, it just drives more engagement. And so it's powerful. So tokens are distributed based on a number of things. Number one, node operation. Like I talked earlier, if you've ever said, hey, I know I have, we've driven through a toll bridge, it's like, man, I wish I owned that toll bridge because people just keep going and going and going. I live in North Dallas area, and a toll bridge is a daily part of our lives, right? So I get a toll bridge hit every single, week to 2 weeks, a payment that comes through my card. I'm like, if I own that and all those people are going through, that'd be powerful. So number one, nodes. And why do you get rewarded? Is you're getting rewarded for basically running the network, right? Like I mentioned cell towers earlier. If you owned a cell phone tower on a building or on your property, right, you would get paid and rewarded from the cell phone companies for using that tower. It's the same thing here. You validate all the transactions, and based on that protocol, you get daily Optio. You also get Optio through the app interaction. I talked about that, all your user activity. And it's all driven by this proof of impact protocol, a very smart algorithm that drives it and distributes it out. So it's exciting stuff, right? I look back, if I would have been able to, every time I've logged into Facebook, the last however many years I've been on Facebook, if I would have earned something, that had value now, value then, and value later that could grow as it became popular, that would be a pretty cool situation. Well, that's what we're looking at, right? It's big tech, it's data, it's social media, reinvented, built more efficiently, built better, but built for the end user, built for people. What is Optio Dex? Optio Dex is a decentralized exchange. So I mentioned earlier, if you're an Optio right now, there's a couple exchanges it's on. You can go sell it, convert it for other crypto or fiat. But the Optio Dex is a decentralized one that you'll be able to do that as well. So this is launching and loading soon. So like I said, basically this whole e-commerce, big, huge tech stack, everything's owned and operated on the Optio blockchain. Okay, so let's get back into nodes here real quick, because I know a lot of you, that's the main reason you're looking here, right? Because like for me, I jump on Parler, I jump on Play TV, I love the rewards I'm earning, but I also like, wait a second, this is huge. My mentor in business, he said, Nick, you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You need to surround yourself by great people. And number one, and number two, you need to find out where people are going. Once you figure out where people are going, you get in front of them. Okay. And I mentioned earlier that just about every business expert is saying that everything's going to blockchain. Businesses, huge businesses. The next big wave is companies getting put on the blockchain, tokenizing their assets. Guess what? This is the first big company that I've seen where you're taking an asset-backed company, legitimate brick and mortar business. I mentioned earlier, a $1.2 billion company in Pulse that's getting put on the blockchain. And we can get rewarded heavily for owning nodes and actually helping prop that network up and helping decentralize it. So as a node owner, you will earn Optio tokens daily as your reward for contributing to running the node and securing the network. They're distributed by a protocol, right? All those tokens you can use in the Pulse ecosystem, you can also exchange outside of it. There's no ROI guarantees, but this is designed with SEC regulation compliance in mind, even before they just made laws better and more congruent for blockchain and for cryptocurrency innovation. They literally, the SEC chair came out and said, hey, laws before very restrictive. It was like we're taking the gloves off and basically putting laws in place that is going to allow for innovation. Sorry about that. I had a fan in the background, my wife's dog. And so it's powerful what can happen. So what this is it's Web 3.0. I mentioned that earlier, right? Which means that you control your data even if your data is on someone else's site, right? That's how it should be. Okay, think about it, right? Think about your medical record, for example. Do you know what your medical records are? No, we don't, because we don't control them. We own them. They're my medical records. But if someone said, hey, can you send me your medical records? I'd be like, you got to call the doctor. And guess what? The doctor's got to call a company that owns those and operates those. And when they request those, guess what? That company makes money off of you. But imagine being able to go to a doctor's office and say, hey, can you give me your medical records? And you send them over because not only are they yours, you own them, but you also control them. That's what 3.0 is doing. Okay. So Optio was built for the, like I said, the future of infrastructure, the future of tech, but it's not the future. It is here now. And guess what? It is live. And we can be rewarded and benefit heavily on not only where they're at right now, but also where they're going. So when you help power the blockchain, when you help power the Optio blockchain, when you can contribute to this, you can get rewarded heavily. Okay. And this is not about, hey, we hope something happens. This is real business, real value put on the blockchain. Those assets are then tokenized, and you have the ability to share in the success of this company as it grows. Like, for example, Pulse, right? $1.2 billion valuation. They're going public here this next year. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to put all that raise back into the company, more value, which that value is then integrated in on the Optio blockchain. So it's a very exciting time which we have right now. And so when you own the node, it's not just about earning or ROI. It's basically about helping prop this whole network up. Okay. It's not owned and operated by an individual person or a group. In fact, it's not owned by anyone. It's owned by the node owners. So when I mentioned or introduced myself earlier, I'm just part of the ecosystem. I'm a node owner myself. I didn't help start Optio. I'm not a founder of Optio. I just found this project, fell in love with it. I'm like, man, this is incredible. I want to share it with people that I love. And so with this, it's not just like a box or technology. In fact, it's hands-free, meaning you don't have to be a tech person to operate it at all. When you purchase a node, you get a lifetime node license, meaning there's no yearly fee on it. You get access to a dashboard. You get that distribution will go directly to your Kaibo wallet. You also have the ability to get airdrops from different advancements that they do, but you can also participate in voting. So if there's ever something that changes in the Optio blockchain, they say, hey, we can do this, this will be better, and will be voted upon by the owners, right? So you're actually owning part of the decentralized future. And so how you purchase a node, get back to the person that invited you on, thank them, say, hey, thank you. May not have understood all of it, but I understand that this is definitely where people are going, and these guys definitely have their I's dotted, T's crossed, and are doing great things. Like I said before, I have personally never seen any project that had a substantial business that was integrated in the blockchain. I've only seen startups, let alone a $1.2 billion corporation that is integrating on the Optio blockchain, tokenizing their assets, and giving us the ability to have built-in value right from the start, right from day one. And so to purchase a node, you can own one, you can own a number of them. It is a one-time $1,000 fee. Okay. You get basically the software, and you can run that yourself, but 99.99% of the community members host it on a third-party hosting company, which just makes it really simple. And the monthly hosting fee is required if you do choose that. Okay, so I want to point that out. But you can host between 0 and 10 nodes for $9.99 a month, so $10 a month. You can host from 11 to 100 nodes for $30 a month. So very economical, very simple. But what that also means, you don't have to mess with it. You don't have to touch it. You don't have to be a tech person. You got to set up. You don't have to check on it. They monitor it. If anything needs updating, they do updating. If there's hardware needs updating, they handle all that, right? When you choose that hosting, it's literally set up in minutes through it's all integrated there, and you'll begin participating in the blockchain contribution within 24 hours. That means within 24 hours, you'll start getting those Optio rewards coming in. Now, you got invited on here for a couple reasons. Number one, the person that saw this said, hey, they think that you would want to participate in this, right? Whether it is through just engaging in the apps, jump on, contribute, earn Optio, earn for something you're doing somewhere else already, you might as well, right? Share content, post content. And if you're not a content poster, that's completely okay. Watch the videos, engage, and you'll get rewarded in Optio. Okay. But on top of that, timing in the blockchain space, timing in the crypto space is at an all-time high. We're hitting all-time highs with Bitcoin. There's altcoins that are hitting all-time highs, meaning there is more value there. If you talk to experts in this space who are charters and traders, they say things are lining up for a great one, but it's also timing in correlation with laws being passed and countries basically putting this as the forefront. Okay. You take that combined with the fact that where the timing of this company is. So, like I mentioned earlier, Pulse is going public, Q1, Q2 of this next year is their target for that. But Optio is looking to make a massive splash here soon. Looking to their target is going on a live tier one exchange, liquidity hitting the market, which means Those of you that are node owners, those of you who purchase now, get to reap the rewards and reap the benefits as the more value comes into this blockchain and more value comes into the token. It's not about being early. It's about owning something for now and forever. So if you purchase that node, guess what? If you forget to jump on and engage, like, comment, watch a video, you still earn Optio. Guess what? If you don't do anything for the next 3 years, that next day, if you're hosting, you'll still earn Optio. So you own that node for a lifetime that props up the network, and you're going to own Optio day after day after day after day after day. Like I mentioned, the toll bridge, that's definitely pretty exciting. And so this is early adoption from the standpoint of Optio. I still believe that crypto and blockchain is incredibly early adoption. But what they've been able to do is see successes from people that have come before them. They've seen failures from people who come before them. But when you partner with Pulse, that $1.2 billion company, it definitely props up and can definitely lead us for success. So get with the person got you on, get on a node. Now we have a promotion that's ending right now, ending tomorrow night at midnight here in the US, if you're outside the US. If you're like, man, this is incredible. If you buy 5 nodes, you get 5 additional bonus nodes. If you buy 10 nodes, you get 10 additional bonus nodes. If you buy 15, you get 15. If you buy 20, you get 20. Now, what if you buy 7? If you buy 7 nodes, you get 5 bonus nodes. So you have to hit those tiers to get that extra bonus. So incredible way to basically really, jumpstart your success, jumpstart, node ownership. And basically join us, right, for this decentralized, march to prop up this whole network. And the last thing I'll say is, I said this a handful of years ago. I've been participating in the crypto blockchain for a number of years. I've won some, I've lost some. Those are the ones you typically learn the most in. But I said this a number of years ago. I said, hey, crypto is a much more efficient way to do business. Just like blockchain, it's a much more efficient way to do business. But it's new for people. And because it's new for people, people have a chance to kind of say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I said the company that makes it simple, right? Not only to acquire crypto, earn crypto, get quick crypto, but also to spend and use it, will be the ones that take the masses, take the people from early adoption to early majority to majority. And so this is a multi-trillion-dollar year industry, but we haven't even hit majority yet, meaning there's less than 15% of people that even hold crypto currently as we speak. Guess what this project is here? How do you earn or acquire crypto? You like, you comment, you engage, you watch a video, you earn crypto. How do you spend it? Take your Kaivo app, use it inside the ecosystem, share it on an exchange, a centralized exchange, which to me brings that we're going to bring more and more and more people to the platform. What equates to success in this industry? Adoption, the number of people you have involved. There's already 18 million people before they really get kicked off. Utility, the different use you can use the Optio for, the more people, the more uses there will be, and then obviously liquidity, buying pressure. I believe it's a perfect storm. So whether you engage in the apps, whether you jump on a node ownership, whether you really take advantage of our promotion we have, we invite you to the Optio community. We invite you to the Pulse community. Cannot wait to see you on the other side. Thank you guys so much, and you guys have a phenomenal evening.